Their backman staff, they got a couple of experienced heads in around them, Paul Miller with Glenavon and Lee Doherty with Linfield, and that will be a key element that you probably don't see behind the scenes. These guys are working really closely with what they want from their players, and it's who can get their players to settle down in this big occasion will be maybe the team that goes on to lift this trophy today. So that's maybe the key battle.
Okay, Stephen, Chris, thank you very much today. Indeed, today's two managers have contested 10 Irish Cup finals between them as players. Let's see which one can win their first as manager, in the company of the former Linfield manager David Jeffrey and Jackie Fullerton.
Thank you very much indeed, and today sums up the magic of the Cup for me when two of the lesser lights collide in this decider. There's Alan Jenkins, a United skipper, with his young daughter all the way from Scotland, Macy, and his niece, Kelsey. And a nice touch, looking at the sides coming out. Mark Farron, who had to stop playing earlier this season because of illness, got to lead Glenavon out. And the long-serving president of United, Norman McBurney, he led out the men in white and blue. He's been a great benefactor for 25 years and more, and he deserves his moment in the sunlight, the quiet man. There's Glenn Ferguson, getting a hug from men he knew well from his Windsor Park days. 5 winners' medals, 4 for Linfield, 1 for Glenavon. There are the balloons. What a day this is. It's a final steeped in history. Every local player wants to be here. It's a game surrounded by aura. It has a glamour as well. And the team's now being presented to Jim Shaw. Leads the way, the IFA president, Chris Lindsay, the skipper of Glenavon, introducing his team. The officials, that's Tracy Wiley, Marie Curie nurse with the match ball, and there's Alan Jenkins. He'll be vital in midfield, and there's Mr. McBurney. Very proud day for his 2 granddaughters as well. But these are the tense moments, David.
They are, Jackie, because as a manager you get your players fired up before the game, and everybody's buzzing and bouncing, and then there's almost this anticlimax where and you've actually got to prepare your players for this bit. Now I know it's part of the pomp and circumstance, and everyone loves that, and it's part of the ceremony, but you see, as a player now, you just want to get the national anthem song and the game going, because you see now the butterflies will be going mad in their tummies.
That's Anne Hannon there from Marie Curie, who is also meeting the teams. We are getting ready for the anthem. As David said, the butterflies. Oh, there's David Cushley, Ballymena United's top scorer. And I think they're just about to announce the anthem. As David says, the players will want to get this out of the way. A great buzz in the stadium. We have the release of the balloons. Navy blue, yellow, sky blue. There they are. There's the excitement. We now have the fair play handshake. And why don't we just take a moment and reflect and confirm the 2 sides for you. Looking at Ballymena United, first of all, 8 of this side. There we are, the United side, 8 of this side, including the skipper Alan Jenkins, playing in their first Irish Cup final. The 3 who've experienced it before, fullbacks Jim Irvin, 4 wins out of 4 finals with Linfield. The left back Stephen McBride, a winner with Crusaders in 2009. He's playing in his 4th final. And the left winger Alan Taggart played in 1 final Portadown defeat 4 years ago. It's 4-3-3. David Curie and Darren Boyce, the two main frontmen who'll be hoping to cause Glenavon a few problems. Looking at the Glenavon side, it's a 4-4-2 formation. Top goal scorer Guy Bates providing the main threat up front, assisted by Tiernan Mulvena. Kieran Martin, Shane McCabe, they are the central midfield engine room, while the wide men, Andy McGrory and Kyle, they just love to get forward. And at the back, two teenagers occupy the fullback spots, Reece Marshall on the right, James Singleton on the left side. And the goalkeeper, James McGrath, only his 14th appearance for the club, playing in an Irish Cup final. It's the stuff of dreams. Referee today, Raymond Crangle from Belfast, FIFA referee. It's a second Irish Cup final. David might remember 2 years ago he was here when Linfield scored 4 against Crusaders 1.
It was a quite marvellous day, and I'll tell you, Jackie, I've been fortunate to be in a number of finals, and it was the first final I properly enjoyed, and I had to actually make a conscious decision to enjoy the day, because it goes past you so very, very quickly.
Can you really enjoy it?
Well, I enjoyed the Crusaders one, and I promised myself, win, lose or draw, I was going to enjoy the day and enjoy the occasion, and thankfully on that day we did. The previous ones, the nerves, the tension, and in an interview which Chris Morgan did recently, he hit the nail right in the head. You know, when you won something, the delight or the enjoyment or the satisfaction was almost momentary, because you had to look straight away, what's the next target, what's the next trophy. So I really do hope that both sets of players, both managers, coaching staff and particularly the supporters really do enjoy these days.
Well, this season, David, they've played 3 times, 1 victory each and a draw. It's very even. Glenavon with the bookies are slight favourites. I think there might be a few goals in this. It might be an open game for a change.
Well, Jack, I've been looking to see have there been any pointers, and up until now I can't. There was Crusaders against Glenavon in the semi-final, and I thought the Crews would have gone through. They didn't. And then Ballymena against us, when they were absolutely magnificent with a superb winning goal by David Curie. There's nothing really to separate this side.
Well, the weather is dry, it's fine, the pitch is in good order considering the time of year. And the 134th Irish Cup final, the last, as Stephen said, in this stadium before its multi-million-pound refurbishment. So many memories in this old ground. Who's going to make another memory today? Who will be the hero or heroes this afternoon? It's all country. It's County Antrim against County Armagh, united in their Argentina-type strip against Glenavon. And by the way, United wore this similar strip in 1981 when they beat Glenavon here by 1-0. Superstitious? They might be just a bit.
You mentioned the pitch, Jack, and I think the ground staff deserve great credit, because finals of yesteryear were often spoilt with hard, bumpy pitches, and the pitch today looks in superb condition.
Indeed. Ali Taggart just couldn't get to that on the far side. There's an early touch for James McGrath, 26 last month. He releases it very quickly. Mulvena did well. That might be a free kick, and it is. And I know, David, that Ballymena United, more the fans, I think, than the players, they're concerned about Bates.
Bates is an outstanding player, and he's probably one of the most complete forward players in the country. Really quick feet for a big man, very, very nimble, and yet physically very strong. And certainly Munster and Taylor will have their work cut out today.
Here comes the free kick. Bates is in there, but that was Johnny Taylor with the clearing header up towards Curie. Could fall for Boyce. And here's the man with the very bright haircut. Will not miss Gareth McKeown.
No, to be fair to big Gareth, he's always consistent. He wears his heart in his sleeve, and his hairstyle and his hair colouring is almost as traditional as the cup final itself.
Yes, his 4th Irish Cup final. Previous 3 with Crusaders. He won one in 09, 5 years ago. Again, Bates will be the target up front. That's Mulvena in there. No way through there for Reece Marshall. He had it taken off him, and there's the charge, and Boyce is onside. Jenkins is in the middle. It's too far. Cushley, he just couldn't get on the end of it properly, but that will lighten the mood in the Ballymena camp.
Well, it'll lighten the mood, Jackie, and you can already see that I think it's going to be a very open game. Big Stephen Baxter, I think, called it correctly. You know, they're two very good footballing sides, being managed by ex-centre forwards. You know, they will want their teams to attack, and that was a perfect example. Here was the ball at the back, and young Cushley just stretching, unfortunately didn't get there.
Got a warning shot across the bows of Glenavon. And David, I was just looking at the stats, as you do, preparing for a thing like this, and both sides, since they won their semi-finals, neither side in 4 games won any of those games. But we don't read too much into that.
No, you certainly don't, Jack, because with respect in terms of league ambition, that would have gone at that stage. You know, it was both determined where they will be placed, and after that they're just sticking to the cup final.
Well done there by Tony Kane. Chris Lindsay. Here's Tony Kane again. Couldn't get it through for the run of Taggart, it was. Here's Big Davy Munster. His control let him down. Kieran Martin, who got 2 goals in the semi-final win over Crusaders, couldn't control it. Nice little shimmy there from Cushley. That ball's out of play.
He has talent to burn, this young fella. Obviously run the ball out of play there, but he can play left, he can play right, he can even sometimes play through the centre. He's great feet, technically very, very good. Great strike on him, and he's also got very tenacious in the tackle.
Yeah, he's small in stature, but he's got a big heart. Stephen McBride outside of a cultured left foot, and that wasn't so cultured from Alan Shanahan.
No, he's probably saying, why would you pass the ball back to me there? Don't give it to me.
It's on my wrong foot.
Yes, it's an absolute nightmare, then you just want to get the ball away.
Here's the man with the outstanding haircut. I met his son before the game. He has exactly the same style and colouring. United get it away. Glenavon have it back. Here's McKeown. Mulvena won it, and again, and that's away for the corner. Well defended by United. Sorry, David.
No, I think Mulvena was a great signing by Gary. We all thought it was going to Ballymena, and Gary nipped in and got him very, very sprightly, and he makes defenders have to be on their toes all of the time.
36-year-old Kyle Neal. It's hard to believe Kyle's that age. But he's in the veteran stage now, too close to the keeper, and that's where Shanahan has impressed me in the last couple of months since he arrived in January. Quick release finds Kane. Boyce has made moves in the middle, and so had Cushley, but it was just too far for him. McKeown once again hitting it long. Bates couldn't pick up on it. United get it away. Cushley was fortunate. United got it back. McBride. Well, I think he was looking for some movement ahead of him there.
I've got to say, Jack, you've talked about the Glenavon fullbacks in their youth. I'm absolutely delighted for Steve McBride and Jim Irvin, who both made decisions to leave what might have been thought bigger clubs at the time, and will they get success in here? Both of them are playing in an Irish Cup final. Absolutely fantastic for them.
I'm sure Jim, who has a 100% record, 4 cup finals, 4 victories for your Linfield, and I'm sure when he left in January he wasn't expecting to be in the showpiece in May. It's a funny old game.
It certainly is. Proved the right decision for him. He just wanted to play football, and there wasn't as many opportunities for him, and showed great courage in making the decision, and has proved to be the right one. He's an absolute gentleman, a fantastic young fella, and a superb professional.
It's only his 17th appearance for United today, and already he's made a big impact on the fans down there, David, I can tell you. But he shows his experience, his professionalism. He must have learnt that here.
Possibly. Possibly.
Taylor intercepted, but it falls for Jenkins. Alan Taggart. He did well to get the ball back, get his balance back. Thompson dummied himself there, I think. The referee plays on. They were unlucky. The ball from Kyle Nude struck his own player. Good ball from Tony Kane to find Cushley. Jenkins is in the middle, but that's too close to the keeper. Roberto Carlos, remember him? Brazilian left back outside of the left foot. Not that time.
I remember him scoring against West Germany in the 1970 World Cup, Jack.
Yes, he did. He could strike a ball like Mr. Cushley.
Unfortunately, when I show your age by commenting on that.
Singleton with the throw. Singleton, who turned just 18 last August. Some players go through a whole career and don't play in a cup final.
I think so. That's where Gary Hammond deserves great credit. Both Singleton and Marshall, they have been most impressive this year.
Marshall turned 19 in January. Could that go against him, David, on a day of tension?
Do you know, Jack, I sometimes think no, because I remember at 31 playing for Ards, and I was as nervous as a kitten, and everyone was looking to me to be this leader on the day, and I was play acting the whole time. And I remember it wasn't until I got my first header and my first tackle that the nerves dissipated. Young boys like that, I don't think they know anything about fear or nerves.
Too young to be nervous.
Too young.
United may be nervous here. The long throw from McKeown. It's a goal kick. Relief for the men in blue and white. United's 16th Irish Cup final today. They've won it 6 times. Glenavon, they've managed just 5 times. It's their 17th final. So similar records. So both are hungry for success. And of course, £20,000 for the winner, plus the trophy, plus the glory. But more importantly, a place in Europe and a nice prize fund there of qualifying of around £90,000. So it's a bonanza for the winners. Cushley. He could be one of the main men today, David.
I think so, Jack. He, as I say, I've already lauded his massive talent, and he pops up anywhere. The goal that he scored against us here in the quarter-final was something to be seen. It was a great half volley, and it absolutely rocketed into our net. He was first class that day.
Tony Kane. It's a long throw. It wasn't a bad one. He'll settle for another. Big Davy Munster is up from the back. Man of great height. There he is, jumping for it. Once again, Glenavon get it away. We have a man down.
I'm hoping that is not Chris Lindsay.
It is Chris Lindsay.
Oh my goodness.
Is it? Yes, it is. That is a man, as you know, David, because he was here, and his career has been plagued by injury as he takes a crack in the side of the face, and really walking out as captain today. Both of us were pleased. You know, there is a God. If anybody deserves a day like this, it's Chris Lindsay.
He is an absolute giant of a man. He is so brave, he is so courageous. He will put his head where people wouldn't put his feet, and that is typical of him there. He just sees the ball, concentrating on the ball. I think he might have even caught the back of Gareth McKeown's head. I remember a particular day, I think it was in the semi-final against Glentour at the Oval, and he went to win the ball, and he and Colin Nixon accidentally clashed, and he got a desperate injury. And his whole career has been, it was never hamstrings or groins, Jack. You know, it was
cruciates and things like that.
I remember even one day he made a comeback against Crusaders, and he went off against the barriers and wrecked his back. He is such a courageous player, and I'm so pleased for him that he's here playing today. and I'm even more pleased that the big man's on his feet and he doesn't seem to have any damage done.
Yeah, looking at that bump, if this was a fight, the referee would stop it. In it comes again. United will get the corner. Third time lucky from the long throw.
A little bit of confusion there.
We have some 8,000 people here today. United fans in that Cop stand behind and in the South stand below us. They got about 4,500 in the North stand, 3,500 Glenavon fans as that ball comes in. Now, Alan Taggart, I thought it was a handball. The referee was right there, spotted it, gave the free kick.
It wasn't intentional, but it certainly was handball. It was a good spot by Raymond.
Last Old Country final, as that ball comes in. Yes, there it is.
Just bounced up.
Good spot, referee. Last Old Country collision 9 years ago. Portadown 5, Larne 1 at this ground. In fact, I do believe that was Gary Hamilton's very last game for Portadown. He was only a substitute. He did come on, but he wasn't too happy with Mr. Ronald McFall on that occasion. And then there was a parting of the ways.
Sometimes those things happen, Jack. Things come to an end.
Dan Ferguson, what a man he was as a player.
I remember, Jack, when we paid 55,000 for him, he was 29 and people questioned the sense of it. And I said, listen, this man will go on for a long time. And thankfully he proved me right. 10 wonderful years, an outstanding player, great competitor, and was as powerful in the opposition box as he was when he was defending. Absolutely tremendous man and a tremendous footballer, and turning out to be a great manager also.
He's quite powerful in that area in there, having a right go at the fourth official. United trying to get it clear. Kyle Neal being hounded by Jim Irvin. Irvin did his job, but no luck for Neal.
Yeah, that's when Jimmo was using his experience there.
That was really a good ball. Any final needs a goal, and then the play opens up.
You're always hoping for an early goal, and as Stephen said in the opening scenes, you know, to make it an open game. But I think, to be fair to both sides, there's nothing cagey here. No one's, you know, sitting back. Both sides, when they get the ball, they're looking to get forward very, very quickly.
Yeah. Well, it's only my opinion, but I think that's better written than Gary Hamilton's. Well done. Sorry, Gary. United managed to get it out of that corner. Thompson. We haven't seen too much of Gary Thompson as yet in this match, nor have we seen too much of Jenkins, so United need to get a hold in midfield.
It's interesting just watching this little man here. McCabe is doing a great job. He's just sitting in front of the Glenavon back four and really just breaking up the play, and Gary and Alan, Gary Thompson, Alan Jenkins, just are not getting into the game as much as they would like at the moment. But give credit to McCabe there. He's been very, very clever, very, very sensible, and he's been very disciplined in his play.
Yeah, and he'll be glad at 32 to be back in an Irish Cup final, because he lost his only appearance in the decider. That was 07. You may remember it, David. Linfield beat them on penalties.
Dungannon.
When he was at Dungannon. Oh, that went over the head of the young fullback. Here's Cushley making space. Tries to get the corner. He hasn't. Goal kick is given. Good play there from Maurice Marshall.
That is so mature defending from that young man. As I said, Cushley is a great technician, but my goodness me, Maurice, tremendous defending. And for any youngsters that are watching, he wasn't fooled by the swerves, the body swerves, the shimmies, as you say back in our day, Jack. He just concentrated on the ball. Great defending young man.
Any wonder English clubs are keeping tabs on him, and young Singleton. But both sides, I mean, Glenavon have scored 103 goals this season in 45 games. United only 73 in 48 games. But I'm looking, Glenavon conceded 83 in those 45 games, and United 69 in their 48. So they are capable of conceding, David, and that's why I think we might have goals.
Oh, I think we will have some.
I'm being selfish for television reasons.
Yes, of course, but there's enough talent out there and there's enough creativity out there. And I definitely think we'll be goals in this game. It'll not be a boring 1-0 for whichever side.
Let's hope not. Curie punted it forward, but much too much on it. As you say, McCabe just sitting in the front of that back four, and Kieran Martin, the number 24 in midfield, he's another one United have to keep tabs on. Very adept at finding space. Well done, young Singleton with the header. Kyle Neal helps it on. Monster. Here's McCabe. Well, he miscued that one badly. Young man who will not be fazed by this crowd of around 8,000. He's played in Croke Park and various Gaelic football grounds for Ballymena in front of 30 and 40,000. Now, something on here, but Taylor is there to nip it in the bud. Shanahan. In many ways, it hasn't really settled down, David, there, so...
Not just as yet, Jack. Not just as yet. There's a young man there, Johnny Taylor, who's also done exceptionally well since arriving at Ballymena from Glentoran.
Yeah, he's another favourite with the fans down there as Glenn Ferguson tries to build a side. He won the Shield, as you will remember to your pain, beating Linfield, the penalty shootout 2 years ago. So he's on the right way, and here they are in a cup final. They were disappointed not to make the top six, mind you, as Glenavon did. It's actually 6th Glenavon against 7th Ballymena United today. So it's like everything else, there's not very much in it.
Well, I think Glenn's managerial career, certainly this year, deserves great praise and great credit. They went through a difficult period at the beginning of the year, and he really has beginning to build a very sound and solid squad.
Yeah, it's
a little bit late, but I don't think there was any intent.
Yeah, it was more awkward than malicious, I think. Kyle Neal again, not finding a man. Now here's Kyle Neal. Once again, it's not a good ball. Not often you can say that about Kyle Neal's distribution.
And I'm not just sticking up for the players, Jack, but one thing you'll not know from television, but it's actually quite blustery down there. And there's a bit of a swirling wind, and that maybe just isn't helping the players.
Yeah, there is a swirling wind if you have a look at the corner flags. If anything, it's favouring the men in blue and white, Ballymena. Now, that's not a bad ball. Well spotted by McKeown and well cut out. He better be careful. He wasn't. United on the break. Here's Boyce. Jenkins. He waited too long. Singleton. I'm sorry. Reece Marshall again. Very good defending again by the youngster. That's not a bad ball. Cushley too close to the keeper. We just need the final ball to be better. He will know that. He doesn't need me to tell him.
This is what Ballymena did really well here. Pressed the ball very quickly, very early, high up the pitch. And that's what created the opportunity for them.
McGrory hasn't really had too many touches of the ball. The 22-year-old playing his 40th game of the season, so he's been very consistent this term. 7 goals to his credit.
A very good friend of mine and of yours, Jackie, Mr. Jim Thompson.
Stick.
Yeah, Stick, or the General as he's fondly known. Because of his interest in the psalm and all like things, he played a great part in Andrew's development.
Jenkins won it, but misdirected. Now, chance for Kyle Neal to lift his head. He's been looking for that. He still hasn't found his man. But United, give them credit. They spotted the danger. Irvine, lovely little ball into Thompson. It's all a bit tight over there. In the end, it was too tight, and the free kick has not been given. Thought the linesman had given it. That's what drives managers mad, David, including yourself in the past.
Absolutely crackers. It really does. But Raymond overruled the linesman there.
Well won by McKeown. Hope the orange dye isn't running from that hairdo. He's calm.
Calmness personified.
5 winners' medals as a player, 4 with Linfield, 1 with Glenavon. Lee Doherty as assistant, 2 winners' medals. Norman Kelly, his coach, 1 winners' medal. Wes Lamont, the goalkeeping coach, 2 winners' medal. 10 in total for the 4 backroom staff. So they'll have been able to tell their players what this day is all about. But right now it's all about McGrory for Glenavon. McGrory tempting McBride. Reece Marshall. He's given it away though. Gary Thompson. Good ball to find Cushley. Boyce is in the middle. Ali Taggart is in the middle. There's a run from Taggart. Taggart, he could tee up Cushley. He did. McKeown in the way. Lovely little feint there. McGrory. Long by Marshall. He gave it away. Ballymena United gave it away. Mulvena, that's much too long. My director says he thinks of Holland when he sees that orange strip. They're not exactly playing like Holland, Mr. Director.
Unfortunately, just not at the moment. Not at the moment. But it will happen, it'll come.
Here's McCabe. Clever feet. Kyle Neal. Bates goes deep. He hasn't had too much service so far. Here is Bates. Taylor read that ball. We have a Ballymena man down. Might be Gary Thompson. Concern for the manager. He's not getting up.
That would be a worry.
Gordon McCartney, the Ballymena sports therapist, on his way out. Let's see what happened here. Oh, he stretched. Oh.
I couldn't see any contact in that at all. It was a stretch, Jack.
Yeah, that could be a bad one. Pensive United fans look on. The boss has a chew at his thumbnail. Probably thinking of a change if it has to be made. He's got Alan Davidson, who got a couple of goals in the semi-final, on the bench. He's got Aaron Stewart on the bench. He's got Gavin Taggart, Mark Sersner, Neil Gawley. So plenty of permutations there.
Yes, but he certainly wouldn't want to lose young Gary Thompson. Gary was here at Linfield as a young boy, then went to Distillery, and then Glenn spotted his potential there and he brought him to Ballymena, and he really has matured. Again, another super young fella. He really is a great lad, a tremendous professional, great going forward, and I just hope that...
That doesn't look so good, does it?
Oh, it's actually Jim Irvine.
Oh dear, that will be a blow.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was Gary Thompson's Jim. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I couldn't see Gary Thompson when I was looking around. So that's not so good for United. Aaron Stewart can come on though, play fullback if required. But the experience of Irvine, if he had to go off, that would be a major blow.
It certainly would be a blow. Not just for Ballymena, but obviously for Jimbo. But
Jenkins, he is so strong, so good there. Here is Thompson, fit and well. Taggart helps it on. There's a run from Boyce. Chris Lindsay did very well. There's Jenkins again winning it. He's played more games than anyone else for Ballymena this season. It's his 43rd game today.
Again, another excellent player, travels over from Sunnar. He's very highly thought of there as well as here, I think. Oh no, this is awful. Jim has come on, he came on very tentatively there again, but he's down. There's big Jenkins.
Yeah, it does not look good.
It doesn't at all, Jack. That would be heartbreaking for the wee man.
Gavin Taggart, 29-year-old, he will be coming on for his first Irish Cup final. I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to come on in these circumstances. Almost 27 minutes gone, and it looks like Jim Irvin is out of this game.
That is absolutely heartbreaking for the wee man. After praising him so much and so pleased for him to be in a final, and there wasn't even any contact, Jack, as you said, he just seemed to stretch.
First cup final for United after winning 4 at Linfield, and that is a sad sight. And there's the disappointment etched in the face of the Sky Blue fans.
That is so sad to see.
They're quite happy to see an experienced United player going off.
You hate to see that at any time in any game, but particularly in a cup final.
Yeah, you look forward to the big day. New suit and everything they arrived in today, and it's all over after 27 minutes. But a chance for Taggart to come on and do his stuff. Now, he's normally a midfielder.
What they probably do is drop Tony Kane back, and I would have thought. He's very
Tony Kane is the man to go there.
He's obviously very comfortable. He's played at fullback and actually only moved up one, if you like, when Jimbo arrived. So Tony will go back into there.
That is right. We're not Brazil, we're Ballymena. That was my CD, wasn't it? Okay, back to the business here. United under pressure. What's happened here? A red card.
There's a bit of coming together.
Gareth McKeown has obviously struck or done something to the goalkeeper. I didn't see that, David. I was looking at the man about to take the kick.
I did notice an altercation, but I'm not exactly sure what Gareth has done. But obviously it's a master decision from Raymond Criner.
Well, that is a sad, sad end for Gareth McKeown. The 30-year-old, in his 4th Irish Cup final, has been sent off by that man there, Raymond Crango. We might well have a shot at what went on there.
I know that Gareth was, as in modern day game now, players like to get in front of the goalkeeper. Gareth was that man, but what he has done, I'm not exactly sure.
Dear, dear, dear. Gary Hamilton. What must he be thinking? So, 29, nearly half an hour gone as Kyle Neal gets it in. Oh, it's just past the post. It was Kieran Martin, the man who scored 2 goals here at Windsor Park in the semi-final against Crusaders. He had the chance, he couldn't take it. Here's the chance, David.
Decent ball in, wasn't best cleared, and a man of Kieran Martin's ability and talent will be disappointed he didn't bury that. It did come to him very, very quickly.
Here's the sending off. Well, I'm trying to see on this monitor, but something has gone on, and United have got a corner.
Certainly the goalkeeper went down. I don't want to say he went down theatrically, but he certainly went down. And I'm not exactly sure what Gareth is supposed to have done. Maybe the guys in the studio could be able to pick it up.
Yeah, it's hard to see because there's a bit of sunshine and the monitors in here. but there didn't seem to be too much argument. Here's Kane. Keeper did well. Apparently he may have swung an elbow, but that's a very stupid thing to do. That's young McCabe. He didn't get it away. Cushley gets it into the middle. Well, there was an arm flailing there. I think that's Chris Lindsay again, and there's blood there. Has there been an unluckier player in Irish League history than Chris Lindsay?
There couldn't be. There couldn't be. It was, see here, the ball's knocked in, and I don't think there was any intent there. Again, he was caught with the elbow, but I didn't think it was more head to elbow than elbow to head there. And again, it's just Big Chris being very, very brave.
Yeah, apparently Garth McKeown has told the BBC on his way off that the referee said he elbowed the goalkeeper. He is protesting his innocence. Controversy. All of that. Now, trouble for Lindsay as that ball goes in for United. United man goes down. Cushley can't finish it from a very tight angle.
To be disappointed not to have taken that opportunity. Glenavon at this moment in time now down to 9 men. Chris Lindsay has gone off. Obviously Gareth McKeown is sent off. Ball's put into the box there.
Dear, dear.
Oh, flailed at it. Flailed at it.
Lynn Carpenter, the physio of Glenavon, is being kept busy. She was sprinting down the touchline there to get to Lindsay. It's all going on. It's still 0-0. That may change soon. Taggart. Thompson gives it back to Taggart. McBride comes forward. Still 9 men, Glenavon. Taggart. He doesn't get the corner. It come back. Out of play off young Taggart there in your picture.
Well, Glenavon are going to have to rely now on their spirit and their courage and their desire. A little bit like Ulster did last night when I thought their man was unfairly sent off. As I say, I'm not sure what has happened to Gareth McKeown, but Glenavon will really need now to draw on all of the reserves if they'll see this game through.
Yeah, whether the decision was right or whether it was wrong, the end result is Glenavon are down to 10 men. That's the reality. They have to show great character now. In fact, it's always sad to see that because it takes away a bit from the final. Now we have another spat here.
Things are getting a little bit tasty now between Bates and Munster. Quick feet. Give it a shepherd in the way. Nothing really. It was innocuous at best.
Bates was not best pleased though. Lindsay is coming back on. Can the 10 man grab a surprise lead? Oh, he's hit it well! He's hit it very well, Kyle Neal! He's got 1 goal in this cup run. He's now got 1 on cup final day for 10-man Glenavon. 8th goal of the season. I remember him scoring into that net, 12 years ago, when Linfield eventually beat Portadown 2-1 in the final. Good finish that day. Superb free kick, David.
Absolutely outstanding. He just drilled it. Goalkeeper didn't see it until it hit the back of the net. There may be questions now about the wall, but that's a superb strike. I'm absolutely raging with myself, Jack. I didn't call it just beforehand because I thought with his left foot and with a little bit of when could Kyle do something special, and my goodness gracious me, was that special. That was absolutely fantastic, and that will be the encouragement they need with the sending off of Gareth McKeown.
That is a goal to grace any cup final. Great finish. Saw that in the Premiership. They'll be talking about it for weeks. The keeper, he nearly touched that outside the box. Well, he can smile now, but it's uphill for Alan Jenkins and his men.
sixes and sevens. Nothing more to it.
Storm in a teacup. But it's all going on. Gareth McKeown of Glenavon has been sent off. Chris Lindsay was off for a few minutes with a blood injury. And the 10 men then take the lead with a bit of a wonder strike from Kyle Neal. Tremendous, cracking free kick.
That certainly was a thunderbolt, Jack, but there's a long time to go. Although in this game, and the boys in the studio will appreciate this as well, when you're playing against 10 men, it can ironically be that little bit more difficult for whatever reason, I'm not sure. 11 against 11, everybody knows they've got their individual opponent, their individual battle. But when your opponents go one down, maybe people start to think, I don't have to work as hard as I did previously.
That's not a bad ball in there, but McBride was there before Mulvanna. Before Kieran Markham was.
And I've got to say, Jackie, Gary Hamilton is ever so brave. He hasn't put another centre back in. He's going with 3 at the back, which is fantastic. Leaving the men up top, men in the middle of the park. Obviously, Jane McCabe will still do that protecting role, but he's just leaving the 3 lads at the back. Fantastic.
It's like Gary's lifestyle. It's cavalierish, and all credit to him.
That is really brave. Very, very good. To be applauded, young man. Well done.
What does he do? That's Ballymena United rocked back in their heels, playing against 10 men. As David says, it is never easy. And you're hit with a blaster like that from Kyle Neal. Here's the corner. United do not need to concede another at this stage. Boyce, Cushley ahead of him. Good covering there by McCabe it was. And that's out of play off Cushley.
I can tell you now, Jackie, there'll be no cameraman in Glen Ferguson. I remember actually in a League Cup final against Crusaders, it was right down to the dying minutes, and we were being beaten by Crusaders, and this big, great man, great centre forward, came on, scored 2 goals for us to win it right at the very death. So he'll not be panicking. He will know exactly what he wants from his players. He'll tell them to stay calm, to keep playing their game, keep passing the ball, try and get Cushley and Boyce on it a little bit more.
Taggart. Yeah, and then you've got people like Jenkins, who's played at the top level in Scotland over the years. Plenty of experience there.
Well, there's always goals from the big man, particularly from set pieces. In the quarter-final against us, he scored a tremendous headed goal.
So, some people were saying it could be 1-0. It's 1-0 at the moment for the men in the orange shirts. Here's number 88, Mulvanna. I remember the time it was 1-11. No longer.
Some would say the good old days, Jack.
McRowley. Lunsford always had to. Oh dear, dear. Foot was up there from Gary Thompson. That is a red card. This is quite unbelievable.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Last year we had 2 men sent off. Kieran Corwell of Cliftonville, Richard Clark of Glentoran, and today both men
I can
have seen red.
I can understand Glenn's frustration and anger.
I'm not sure there was that much in it.
Well, let's look at it again. What's Gary? Gary's looking at the ball. Totally looking at the ball. He doesn't. I don't even think Gary's aware that the man's there.
Well, it's hard to call, but whatever. Once again, the referee has decided. Plenty of talking points in this final.
I suppose if you're going with the letter of the law in this modern day, you can say yes to the sending out, but I really don't think so. I really don't.
A little shake of the head there from Glen Ferguson. It's 10 apiece. Boyce cut it out. And that will be a free kick. Set piece to cause more problems for United. They've got to keep their cool.
They do, Jack. There was a little feeling of injustice there, frustration. Yeah. You've got to keep your discipline at this point.
You don't give free kicks away, particularly in that position. Kyle Neal. Well, it is all happening at Windsor Park. Shanahan punches it. Taggart heads it on. McGrory got the header. Kyle Neal lifts it in. Oh, a little touch there from Munster, and the keeper releases Tony Kane. So 10 against 10, David.
Well, I suppose if anything, to the referee's credit, that he stays consistent, because I couldn't honestly see what happened with Gareth McKeown.
That's a yellow card. Well, let's hope it's a yellow card. It is.
It is a yellow card. But, so I'm not sure what happened with Gareth, so I can't comment on that. But I think Gareth
Big Munster.
Very harshly done there. Yeah.
Big David.
Guy Bates is very clever.
Big Davy Munster.
He knew that David was coming, let him come the whole way through, and basically ruled the challenge.
That was definitely a yellow card.
Oh, it certainly was.
No controversy that time.
None. That was simple and straightforward. He went right through.
Free kick forward. Mulvena got a touch. Bates! Oh, it's just dropped wide, but it was off a United head. It might have been McBride right at the back. The overhead almost caught the keeper out. Bates almost in there for his 5th cup run goal.
Capable of anything there, and that was goal point. Good job I got the deflection.
Keeper stayed.
Oh my
What happened there?
Gracious
Shanahan seemed to be
stuck to the line.
Boots of cement on the goal line. They left it for the Glenavon man. What happened here, David?
Goalkeeper came, stopped, and didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. And if the young lad had just kept his eye on the ball, that was 2-0. That was 2-0. My goodness gracious me. Goalkeepers are giving Glenn the heebie-jeebies.
Just going to say, David, before we had 2 men sent off today, we had 2 men last year in the same incident. Caldwell Clifford, Clark of Glentoran, when Glentoran won the cup, and before that you have to go way back to 1988 for the last man to be sent off in an Irish Cup final, and you'll never guess who it was. The gentleman himself, great player, Jim Curie.
A gentleman, Jim.
In fact, it was 1983. I can't read my own writing.
And certainly when they open the game up now, Jack, that is no doubt.
Yeah, and the levels of fitness will come into to line as well, be questioned.
Very much so. I know Glenn in particular puts a lot of emphasis on fitness and expects his players to work very, very hard. And he's very thorough in his players' physical preparation.
Just over a minute left of this first half. It started off, it was scrappy enough, and then we've got all sorts of goings on. We've had a Glenavon goal, we've had 2 men sent off, and we've had Jim Irvin go off for Ballymena United permanently.
And there certainly has been incident-packed, Jackie.
That would sum it up.
Maybe it's not all the free-flowing football that we wanted, and maybe that foul is just typical of the first half, but there's certainly a lot of talking points for the chaps at half-time.
Forward by young Marshall Jenkins, back there defending. It's all hands to the pump now for both teams. Here's McCabe. Well, he was looking for somebody down there, he didn't find it. The ball's behind for the goal kick.
That actually was Chris Clever player. He knew he was being closed down. He couldn't see another option, so he thought, I'll just roll this into the corner. That's clever, experienced play.
Well, he looks relaxed. He's one of the substitutes. And he's the manager.
Tremendous, what a character. And what a fantastic young man.
Yeah, a few heads were nodded when he got the job, David. A lot of people wondered, is this the right decision by Glenavon? But he's done not bad at all.
He's done very, very well, and those people who maybe were doubters didn't really know the real Gary Hamilton. Very studious, great thinker about the game, very innovative, and has a real love of the game also, and a love of people. He's done tremendously well.
And he could come on in the second half, Gary Hamilton. That would be quite an impact sub. Because even though he's 33 these days, he can still play and finish.
Well, he scored, must have been the goal of the season, where he flicked it up and volleyed
Brazilian like.
Oh my goodness gracious me. He has talent to burn.
Yeah, we saw that goal in the opening of the programme, and what a goal it was. But as you say, that's Gary. Likes to try these things. He's gone 15 rounds, it seems, Chris Lindsay. What a brave player. Taggart. McBride. First time. It's not a bad ball at all. Jenkins was in there trying to get something on it. Couldn't. Bates holds off his man. He does that so well. Kyle Neal, the 36-year-old. Well, he's made a very good attempt. He gets there. Bates has got it. Clever player. As I say that, he buys the free kick. And they're not happy with Taggart.
No, again, very, very good play by Guy Bates. He's running the clock down. Obviously, doesn't want to give Ballymena any opportunity to get back into the game. Shields the ball very, very well and gets himself a free kick.
We're into the 3rd minute of time added on, but we've had a few stoppages for various things, sendings off, bad injuries.
I was just wondering where Glenavon going to keep it out there, but I see big Chris Lindsay coming menacingly forward.
In it comes, keeper stays. Reece Marshall could get no power on the header. Long kick. McCabe did well. Good distribution as well. But this will come to nothing as the whistle goes for the end of the first half. David, how would you sum it up?
It started open enough, Jackie, but then as the game progressed, it got scrappy, and there was no real pattern to the play, and I can't even remember any real clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. Then we had this man here, Kyle Neal, who unleashed an absolute thunderbolt. What a tremendous free kick, which was deserving of any cup final. It was a tremendous strike. We have the sadness of Jim Irvin being carried off. Then we have the 2 men sent off. Gareth McKeown, we're not exactly sure. Gary Thompson, me personally, I think it was very, very harsh. So lots of incident. The 2 managers will go in now and they'll want to regroup, get their players to calm down, and let's start again. But there is a desperately, desperately sad sight.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Yeah, as we know, 1-0 to those men in the orange shirts. And David, I was taken by Gary Hamilton. He must have had a very, very quick team talk, and then he was out here warming up.
Well, Jack, that was very, very interesting. But you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And in big Paul Miller, he is an absolute gem. Obviously, Paul has managerial experience anyway. And I remember Bram McLaughlin telling me many years ago when I was player assistant manager at Larne, you're the assistant manager during the week, but you're a player on the day, and let others concentrate on that. And I think that's what Gary's doing. He's concentrating on being a player today, and Paul's looking after the other managerial side.
Yeah, the boys in the studio were basically saying that United have it all to do if they want to get back into this cup final, and I think that's a fair summation.
Yep, I think they were absolutely right. You know, Glenavon will be quite comfortable. They don't need to panic, they don't need to press the game.
Sorry, David. I was just repositioning David's microphone there. He gave me a glare. I'll not do it again.
Thank you, Jack.
McGrath, long kick for a man who this time last season was playing for Ballymena reserves. He could have been playing for Lisbelow United in the Junior Cup against Harrival Homers from my hometown of Ballymena on Monday, May Day. But here he is in the cup final. There's the most relaxed man in the place. Why not? His side are in front. Reece Marshall.
Yes, Glenavon had an awful time with goalkeepers, and this young man popped up and he's done very, very well for him. There's three wise heads there. Glenn, Lee and Norman.
Yeah, hard to believe that Glenn and Lee Doherty played the last time Glenavon won the cup in 1997. Lee was actually the captain when Tony Grant got the only goal. Curie was going to hit it. It was taken away from him. Kyle Neal does just enough to get it away. He was more sure-footed with that 30-yard free kick in the first half, which gave us the only goal. Kane, it's not a bad ball in. It's away by Lindsay. Back in by Taggart. Here's Taylor. Jenkins just couldn't get it past James Singleton.
If Ballymena are going to make an impact, Jack, Big Jenkins has really got to get into the game. He is their focal point and lots of what they do. He's got to really grab a hold of this match for them.
Kyle Neal just did enough to get ahead there of Jenkins. McGrory. Mulvena. Here's the anchor man in midfield, McCabe. And here's the man who's been in the wars in the first half. Chris Lindsay gets it to young Marshall. They keep it cool, they keep it simple. And McCabe fell of his own accord, says the referee. That's not a bad ball at all. There's the run of Boyce. Curie darting down the middle. Boyce was held up. And he was held up by young Reece Marshall.
Great defending yet again.
Looks a good prospect, that boy.
Nothing phases him. You know, for such a slight young fella, he really is a very good defender. Strong in the air. He's quick, good in the tackle, good passer, and can even score the odd goal.
He looks about 14, Reece, doesn't he? He looks like a schoolboy. He's probably thinking, nervous? Why would I be nervous?
Exceptional talent.
It's flicked on! And United have got the corner. United player was very brave there. Let's see this. It caused all sorts of problems.
I think it was David Curie who threw himself at the ball there. Very, very brave. And again, good defending. You know, Marshall, he had to be there. If he hadn't got there, it was one each.
In comes the corner. That's off a Glenavon head. And away it goes. Would you believe? It's that man Marshall again. He's everywhere. Anxious moments for McGrath. It's the in-swinger. It's not a bad ball. It's not away yet. That was Marshall again.
He's been involved in every defensive piece of work.
He's there. He's everywhere. United have got it. Now. Taggart. Kane can hit a ball. He certainly did, but he hit it just too high. Tony Kane. He got a goal in the first hurdle against the Welders when they came back to make it 2-2. He got the first one. And he almost got the first one for United today. Great strike, David.
He struck that really, really well. Caught it absolutely on the laces. And unfortunately just started to go up at the last minute.
Here's Bates. United deal with it. And slightly fortunate, they get it back. Jenkins keeping us cool. Spreads it wide to McBride. Boyce couldn't get ahead of Marshall. McBride for United. Gavin Taggart, who's come on for the injured Jim Irvin, and that would be bad news if Jim is seriously injured, because he had a serious injury here, David. Was out for about a year.
He was a crucial injury here, Jack, as well. So desperately sorry to see the wee man go off. I hope it's not what they think it is.
Tony Kane can deliver a long one. He takes it short. And he takes the cross. That is a good ball in there. Mulvena helps it on. Bates with the flick. United get it back. Taylor. Munster. Not what he intended. Jenkins, the free kick is given. I think that's belatedly. There was no advantage because there was a little bit of a nudge.
No, and to be fair to this great man here, he certainly has got his players fired up for the second half, and he's opening 6-7 minutes. They've been the more dominant side. Although that
David Curie should not be caught offside.
That puts you absolutely crackers. That really, really does. You know, come on, fellas.
Yeah, I think Spike was doing his nut there on the touchline below us.
Yeah. And sometimes you'll get supporters who'll not shout at the players, but will shout at the manager for things like that.
You know this from personal experience.
This is just over a couple of years. As I say, to get back to the point, to be fair, Ballymena have come out certainly very much when you get the bit between their teeth and they're pressing and probing. But they've got to be careful then they're not caught on the counter-attack by Glenavon. But
just in case you've joined us late, it was all going on the first half. One goal, superb free kick from Kyle Neal, and then we had a man each sent off. So it's 10 men against 10 men, and we've had Irvin, the United fullback, off with a serious injury. So United disrupted there. And then we had Chris Lindsay. He had to be tended to a couple of times, but he stands on there. Glenn Ferguson, we've got 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. Well, they don't look happy at the moment. Maybe they are worried. It's not over yet. We haven't won it yet, Glenavon. At least, as you said, David, there's a long way to go.
Oh, there certainly is.
Well done, Munster. Good touch. And by Taylor. Kane, a chance to get forward. A few spaces opening up in the pitch. There'll be a few tired legs as this game goes on, David.
Very much so, particularly when you're down to 10 men. Just interesting watching Glenn. He's not a camera shot, but just in the touchline, he's urging his men to get forward. Urging for them to get men into the box.
Yeah, the sad thing is, Boyce, number 9 there, they haven't really had too much of a threat today, Ballymena United, and that will disappoint Glenn Ferguson.
Very much so. The Glenavon defence have been very much on top. Chris Lindsay has been outstanding, and Marshall has been superb.
Mulvena. Kyle Neal flicks it on. Taylor there, good cushioned header, back to his keeper. Oh dear, not a great throw. Now there's problems here. We've got a couple of Glenavon men in the middle, too high. Mulvena, slight hospital ball there, he had to flick it on and jump out of the way. Here's Boyce, lays it off. Taggart, hands off. Young Marshall. No, Taggart, he wanted too much time. Bates making life difficult for Taylor, who survives the challenge. Munster, 35-year-old, about to sign a new one-year contract, I'm told, at the showgrounds.
Again, another young man who deserves a great deal of credit. Superb professional.
Taylor gets it forward, but it's not a good ball. Not what United require at this stage of an Irish Cup final when they're trailing by 1-0.
Just momentarily, Glenavon have just taken the sting out of the Ballymena push.
O'Neill lays it back for young Singleton. That's Kane under it. Taggart helps it on. Glenavon have a look at the space here for McCabe. He thought he was going to shoot, then changed his mind. Oh, that was close. I thought that might have been a corner kick, but the linesman didn't see it.
Possibly.
£20,000 for the winner, place in Europe, the trophy, the glory, and about €100,000 on offer here today for the men who walk away with the cup. There will be 30 minutes of extra time and pens if required. It's a free kick. Well, Paul Miller thought it was a free kick.
It was a coming together, as I like to say, in modern age.
Cushley routed out. Good ball from Kyle Neal. And look at McCabe on the outside. The anchor man has got forward. It's McGrory actually. Here comes Mulvena. That's a by ball. Again, the linesman keeps his flag by his side. Free kick given against Lindsay. Will he be lifting the cup at the end of this, David?
The big Munster's going forward. Johnny Taylor's going forward. Ballymena will be looking at something from it. Tony Kane, great right foot.
Chips it in. Munster tries to get on the end of it. Taylor was in there, he fell down, but it could be one each. Boyce is denied. Away for the corner. And somehow Glenavon get that ball away. It looked like a tap-in for Liam Boyce. Darren Boyce.
There was at least 2 occasions there, Jack. Let's just see it here. Johnny Taylor inadvertently puts it across, and you think that Big Boyce is just going to put it in. That's great defending. I'm trying to think. Kieran Martin, that's outstanding defending. Outstanding defending.
Now Kane can keep this in. This is a good little period for United. That's a ball that had the keeper thinking, do I come, do I stay? In the end it didn't matter.
Yes, to be fair to them, this opening part of the second half, you know, Ballymena started very brightly. I thought maybe then Glenavon sort of took the sting out of it, but the Ballymena have responded again. But that big fella there, Kieran Martin, that was a superb piece of defending. That really is body on the line stuff. Here we see it again. Just comes across the box, and that's a fantastic tackle. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he was very sprightly for a 34-year-old. Here he is again, lays it off. Singleton on the charge. Cushley chasing back. I know that Glenn Ferguson, as part of his team talk, he's been saying have no regrets at the end of this game. Go out there, give it everything, because you only get one chance. And it looks as though United have been listening in the half-time team talk because they look a bit more fired up, but they're still trailing by that single goal. Just coming up to an hour gone of this cup final. Gavin Taggart is going to be the recipient of a yellow card.
It's at that half-time team talk where you really earn your spurs as a manager, because you've got to sense the mood of your men, encourage them individually, galvanise them collectively, and then send them out on a mission. And I often said, you know, no regrets, no excuses, give of your best. Certainly that was a...
He's not going to hit it from here, is he, David? He is, you know. Oh, young Marshall was in there. Just seemed to run away from him. This 19-year-old, he plays at the back, he plays at the front. That's what we call a utility player.
He's absolutely amazing, and you talked about fitness levels earlier on. Incredible, geez, he's all over the place. Absolutely everywhere. Here's the strike again.
It nearly worked out, didn't it?
Very much so, very much so.
Got through and past a few players, fell into the path of young Marshall, just couldn't pick up on it. Now, Kane. Away by Lindsay. Mulvena. There's a run outside him by McGrory. Bates into space. McGrory will have to be careful with the offside. He's onside. He delivers the cross. It's not a good one, but they get the corner.
Great piece of play, particularly by Big Bates, holding the ball up. No one does it any better. McBride had to get across to clear it, or to prevent the ball going into the box. But Bates has been absolutely magnificent. His control, his physical presence. See, he and Davy Munster and one another up. It's now Big Taylor who's picking him up.
In comes the corner. Taggart with the header. Alan Taggart. But a few of the bigger names in the United side, they haven't stamped their authority in this final. And give credit to Glenavon for that.
You're right, Jackie. I'm not wishing in any way to be overly critical. But you know, the big players are Jenkins, or Cushley, or Boyce. You know, and on, if it's to be your day, you need your big players to really stand up and make an impression.
Cushley gets that back to Kane. Here's Gavin Taggart. Munster. Kane gives it to Taggart. A bit of a mix up there with his feet. He's okay. Kane prods it forward. It's not a good one. Kyle Neal couldn't really get a proper touch on it. United have a chance for Johnny Taylor to make his way forward. Oh dear. Munster comes to the rescue. McBride hits it long, looks for Boyce. The header from the majestic Chris Lindsay.
You see, we're talking about big players, Jack, and Bates has held the ball up very, very well. But this man, Chris Lindsay, he has been most dominant. Unfortunately, Darren Boyce hasn't been able to make any impression whatsoever.
Yeah, he had that. We thought it was a tap in, it wasn't. And amazingly, number 9 it was who got the goal against Glenavon in 1981 when United beat Glenavon. History almost repeated itself, but not quite.
One thing we're sure of, but if Darren does get an opportunity, he will bury it. Very accomplished finisher. And I think credit's got to go to Darren Murphy of Dungannon Swifts, because in many ways he rehabilitated Darren, if you like, in terms of his footballing career.
That's right. He's got 6 goals against Glenavon this season in 3 games, 4 in 2 games against when he was a Dungannon Swifts player, and then 2 for Ballymena in a recent 2-1 victory. What they would give for one of those goals at this moment.
Very much so. unfortunately opportunities are not coming his way, and between that, maybe a lack of creativity and also the dominance of Chris Lindsay, it's proving a challenging day for him.
Well, here's the man, as Boyce it is, who makes way. That might be a slight surprise for me, David. No. But he comes off, and Davidson, who hit a couple of fine goals in the semi-final against Queen's University, has come on. His first goals of the season, amazingly. But he's a guy who can win a game.
What Glen has done earlier in the year when they didn't have a centre forward, he actually played big Alan Jenkins up there, and I see that's what he's done. He's put the big man up top, and he obviously sees that Chris is doing particularly well. Chris Lindsay, maybe not one of Darren's better days, and so he's got big Jenkins up top. Interesting, he's pushed Cushley in beside him as well.
And just as you say that, Jenkins got a touch before Lindsay that time. Little flick from Cushley. Here's Taggart. They've got the corner. He's got to wait. It's Mark Patton.
That's one thing you never do. Never make a substitution in the set piece.
United's corner. Just couldn't get a head on it, Jenkins.
No, Kieran Martin again deserves great credit. As I say, Big Alan is very, very powerful in the air. But here's the Glenavon change. And Mark Patton.
It's the goal scorer who's coming off. Kyle Neal. Now in the veteran stage, 36 years of age. Kyle, he's done his bit today. He's got the only goal. And the man who's replacing him, Mark Patton, 24 years of age, he's got 13 this season.
Came on and did tremendously well in the semi-final against Crusaders.
Some people were surprised he wasn't starting today because he's made the most appearances for Glenavon, Patton, this season. This is his 45th appearance.
But the contribution of that boy has been exceptional. He's done tremendously well, not just his experience, but as Stephen referred to at half-time, his set pieces, his corners, absolutely superb. That's a fantastic day for you, Kyle.
There's Tony Grant down there, the man who got the winning goal, the man in the suit beside Kyle Neal. 1997. He's still a hero at Mornview Park because of that, and why not? Here come United. Alan Taggart weaving away. Jenkins got it in, and Kane, well, he was just nudged out of it there very cleverly by Patton.
But immediately you see the impact of big Alan Jenkins. I think it's the first time the ball is stuck up top. He holds the ball up well, cross in, again clever defending. So Kane doesn't get a header and goals, but that's what Ballymena need to do. They need to feed big Jenkins. He need to get the ball to Cushley.
McBride. Alan Taggart. Jenkins. Big, strong man. Davidson. Good feet, Davidson. McBride finds Gavin Taggart. Taylor. Kane. Forced to go back. But to be fair, Glenavon are working like Trojans. They're closing down, David, denying United space.
They certainly are. As I say, talented players are being denied space today. David Cushley, superb talent, but at this moment in time he's being dominated by the Glenavon defence.
Taylor won the header, couldn't keep it in. United, who had Gary Thompson sent off. That's their 6th player to be sent off this season. Glenavon, it's their 5th player to be sent off. Gareth McKeown, the culprit. "20 minutes left of this 2014 Marie Curie Irish Cup final. Taylor, can he hit it with a left foot? He didn't really get anything behind it, and the keeper happy enough to palm it away.
That was a great touch from David Curie, just guiding the ball into Taylor's path. Rather scuffed at the shot, but goalkeeper still didn't make the save. What a fantastic touch. Didn't catch the ball cleanly, but the goalkeeper really didn't.
Oh, it's 1-1! Is that Munster? Jenkins. Jenkins it is. The big Scot, who was cup-tied a few years ago, couldn't play for Gretna in a Scottish Cup final. He's playing today in an Irish Cup final, and he's brought the Sky Blues of Ballymena level with 20 minutes left.
What we said, Jackie, about the big players having to turn up on the day, Alan Jenkins is certainly one of those, and he has delivered. Great decision by Glenn with withdrawing Darren, putting Alan further up. There's the ball into the box. Goalkeeper struggles big style, and that predatory instinct of Alan, and he buries it from 2 or 3 yards. But I've got to say, oh dearie, 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 in terms of the goalkeeper, you're wanting your goalie to come and help you out, to either punch or to catch. He did absolutely neither, and therefore Alan then got his opportunity.
Yeah, a little bit of inexperience perhaps from James McGrath. The experienced campaigner, the 32-year-old Jenkins, took full advantage. His daughter Macy is here to see it. She'll be proud of her dad. He got a goal from a set piece, David, as you will remember, when United beat Linfield here in the 6th round. And today's goal is his 2nd, only his 2nd in this cup run. But how important will that be?
Very, very important, because Ballymena were really doing all of the pressing, and yet they weren't getting any joy. And you thought if Glenavon continued to hold it at 1-0, then you'd maybe only see one victor. But to be fair to Ballymena, they've come right back into it. And if you remembered, also the corner that led up to the goal, that came off that shot by Johnny Taylor after a very deft touch by David Curie. So when you are a top player, and you do then make that contribution, you'll be so pleased.
They are back in it, and he put them there. 18 minutes left. Questions to be answered by Gary Hamilton and Paul Miller. It's still anybody's final, and that's not a great challenge there.
It certainly is, but
Johnny Taylor.
All about momentum now, Jack. You know, Ballymena have got their tails up. Will they continue to push on? Will Glenavon be a wee bit deflated? It's all now about mental strength now, mental toughness.
That is quite a challenge, and Gary Hamilton was quite excited and agitated to the touchline. Yellow card, I think, was delivered to Taylor.
Understandably so, but to be honest with you, Jack, I don't think the big man meant to do any damage, or I think he just mistimed his tackle. And the Glenavon player was a little bit quicker. Maybe it's both centre halves union sticking together. But
here comes the free kick. Well, I assumed he'd got a yellow card for that. He may well have. I was watching the replays of the incident. Nobody seemed to see it, but we're checking it. He certainly had it in his hand, the referee, the yellow card.
But I think he would have given a check, particularly when you consider the 2 centimetres off.
Oh, he's got a yellow whistle. Here's Kane. No yellow card. My apologies to Johnny Taylor. There might be a yellow card for this, though. Tony Kane. Why does the referee use a yellow whistle? It's so confusing. Well, maybe that wasn't really worthy of a card, but he did stop him in his tracks. On another day it could have been. And for the first time today, really, the United fans are singing. Reece Marshall. It's a good ball in. No chance for Curie.
Well, I thought it was a great ball in by Big Bates. And again, a good piece of defending by Ballymena, because Kieran Martin was trying to get himself in there.
Feeling we will see Gary Hamilton before too long. Kane, it falls for Patton. He's a good finisher. I told you he was a good finisher. He's put it in the bottom corner. And the men from Moorview Park go in front. Patton has done it, his second goal. He got one in the semi-final against Crusaders here. Windsor Park obviously is lucky ground. He's done it again. And at this point in time, the Irish Cup is heading to County Armagh. David.
Well, that was absolutely fantastic play. Really, really good play. Here he picks the ball up, just runs it to the fence. Undies maybe is not a strong right side, but that is a fantastic, fantastic finish. Good first touch. Dribbles his way through, looks up and puts it to the goalkeeper's left. That was a fantastic finish. I saw his goal here in the semi-final and that was superb, but that's another great finish. And that's what you've got to say as a manager, you earn your spurs, because Kyle Neal played for the first 60 odd minutes, did tremendously well, buried that free kick. Kyle comes off, your mark comes on, and my goodness gracious me, what a finish. And what I'm so pleased about, Jackie, is that there's so many knockers of our local game, and I was panicking a wee bit with the first half maybe not being everything that we wanted, but my goodness gracious me, this is a great product and it needs to be backed and supported.
I will endorse that, David. As United now, they have to try and hit back again. Alan Taggart, Alan Davidson.
We all talked about momentum there, Jack, and I really thought that maybe Ballymena were going to kick on after they scored.
Let's see the reaction to this. The keeper had no chance. I think there was a defender in front of him as well. Patton celebrates, and they were wild on the bench below us. Paul Miller and Gary Hamilton. Cushley, I think he thought about hitting that there as it dropped. Lindsay it was who got a touch to get it away eventually. Here's the goal scorer. Patton has his goal won the Irish Cup. United will hope not. Davidson easily spotted and cut out. William Murphy is ready. Still no sign of the boss stripping off. Now that is a veteran there, William Murphy. He turned 40 in January. He's not the oldest to play at an Irish Cup final. That honour goes to Mickey Keenan, who was 46 when he played in 2002. Mulvena is coming off. Is that a defender on?
I think this is what we have, we hold.
Yes.
And also he's going to be using William's vast experience.
William Murphy, hard to believe it's his 9th final. He won 7 with Linfield.
Do you know, this will be fairy tale stuff if Glenavon win this, particularly when you consider William Murphy's career thus far.
He didn't think he was going to play in another cup final. Marshall.
Great defending with the young man yet again, because Jenkins was right behind him.
McBride will get the free kick. United take it quickly. Jenkins. Gavin Taggart is available. Tony Kane is this side. He finds him. In by Kane. Jenkins goes in there. Chris Lindsay again to the rescue. William Murphy. First touch for him. That looked like a handball from Taylor, although he couldn't do much about it.
To go back to William Murphy, Jack, last week when we were at Glenavon, and I listened to William on the pitch and how he was directing and guiding the young players around him, and his hunger at his age was remarkable. His fitness levels are absolutely superb, and he's a credit, an absolute credit. He's a giant of a man, a giant of a footballer, and what a privilege it was to work with him for so many years.
It was only a few years ago, David, in his late 30s, when I saw him with his top off in the dressing room. He has a six-pack like a 25-year-old weightlifter. Tremendous condition.
Again, another consummate professional.
Here's the sending off now. Let's see what happens. This is.
Well,
I can't see anything too much in that.
That to me is minimal.
Jenkins with the header. Easy take from McGrath.
That really to me is minimal. My goodness gracious me. Stephen will remember this back in the day when we were playing. that would have been
Stephen Baxter.
Big Stephen
not
Baxter.
Watson.
No, not Winker. No, that would have been akin to people shaking hands. That little coming
the
together.
way through for Glenavon this time. Sorry, David. Yeah, McKeown felt he was hard done by, and it seems from those pictures that he was. There's a dangerous cross. Cushley. United have to get forward.
I think the one thing it does do, Jackie, that it maybe gives a fuller explanation as to why young Gary Thompson was sent off. I said at the time I didn't think it was a sending off, but if Gareth was sent off for that and just for lifting his elbow, then I suppose that's how Raymond has worked that out in his mind with regard to consistency of decision making.
That's Neil Gawley, stripped for United. He can play it on either wing or up the middle. Patton gets that ball with a bit of wrestling there. The referee not impressed by Bates' appeals. But David, my impression is with about 8.5 minutes left that Patton goal has knocked a bit of the oomph out of United.
It has, Jack. As I say, we talked about momentum. Ballymena had that. Carried on with big Alan Jenkins scoring the goal, and you thought Ballymena are in the ascendancy here. But to be fair to Glenavon, they've come back, and that goal from Mark Patton was absolutely superb. And at the moment, you're just looking at the body language of one or two of the Ballymena players, and they're thinking, we've worked so hard to get back in again, and that's a killer blow. But to be fair to Glenn, he's making yet another change.
Aaron Stewart is now out there.
I'm just looking at David Munster. I think he's maybe struggling a little bit. I see him limping.
Well, young Stewart is just getting back from a groin injury as well. United, are they done? They may not be. Davidson, he's hit it well wide. Scored 2 superb goals in the semi-final at the Oval against Queens. Not this time. Little flick off the thigh, and then he hits it wildly wide.
Just while we're seeing that replay, it was big David Munster coming off.
Good spot, David. Yeah, his dad graced cup finals.
Famous Alfie Stewart, what a footballer.
Famous Alfie Stewart.
What a footballer he was.
Rolls Royce of a player.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Diamond of a person, but a tremendous footballer.
Now Cushley is in there. Was he bundled over by Murphy? It just seemed to coming together. No, Davidson. Alan Taggart. Kane, Gavin Taggart. Playing a sort of an anchor role in there at the moment. There he gets it again. Johnny Taylor. All the way across. Lovely skill there, but not a good finish from Davidson. He had to hit it to either side of the keeper. and he didn't.
And this is where it's so hard for Ballymena now, because they're just left big guy baits up and everybody else is behind the ball. So the space is very condensed. It's hard to get balls into feet. And Gary Hamilton will be quite content if Ballymena are reduced to having to shoot from long range.
6 minutes left. 2-1 Glenavon. Gary Hamilton is now warming up. Will there be a little cameo for the last few minutes from the player manager, who will certainly enjoy this day? This is good from Glenavon. Drilled across. Patton is there. That looked like offside. It wasn't. There he is, Hamilton, warming up. His side almost grabbed a third, but not quite. McCabe, he's had a good game too, David.
He's been superb. He really has controlled everything.
Singleton. Poor ball. You don't need to give the ball away at this time of the game. Like that. Gavin Taggart. Are they about to celebrate? It looks like it. Time is running out. Or will there be drama at the end? We've had enough drama in the first half with 2 sendings off, which we would all dispute, I think. Now, Curie being held off there.
That is outstanding defending.
Young Singleton, the 18-year-old, doing his job. His goal may have won the Irish Cup for Glenavon. Kane, the long throw. Davidson gets it out from his feet, but he's giving it away. Now there's a break on here, on the counter for Glenavon. Patton just happy to hold it. May take it to the corner at this stage of the game. He's kept it in. And United get it back. Johnny Taylor. Jenkins. And young McCabe will get a yellow card for that challenge, and Johnny Taylor.
You'll not mind that. And I know people maybe say it's a bit cynical, but at this stage of the game, he knew exactly what he was doing.
It's professional, it's called.
He was taking him for the team.
Well, it's getting near man of the match time, or is it? Are we going to extra time? The keeper has made himself a hero right at the death. Young McGrath, Curie in there, Taggart in there with the chance. And my goodness, oh dear, 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 for United. I thought it was Curie. He might have buried it. Alan Taggart didn't, but the keeper, give him full credit.
Well, to be very fair to him, Jackie, he has redeemed himself, because he made an awful mess for the Ballymena goal, but that was a superb save. Got off his line very, very quickly and spread himself equally so. Just look at it here again, Jack. Deft little flick. Curie's through, but the keeper's off his line very quickly.
Yeah, I thought it was Curie.
Well done, James. Very well done.
David, you'll be glad to know that it's our pundits today, Christopher Morgan and Stephen Baxter, who are selecting the man of the match. Who would your contenders be?
A number of them. Chris Lindsay, I think, has been excellent. Guy Bates has been absolutely superb up front. But the glue in the team today for me, I think Shane McCabe.
Yeah.
So if it was me, I would be giving it to Shane.
I think he's a contender, certainly. And as you say, young Reece Marshall, what a prospect he is. Great ball from Bates. McGrory. Can Glenavon wrap this up, parcel it and send it off on its way to the boardroom at Mourneview Park? They can't. United still trying to come forward. We are in the last minute. It looks like there's only going to be disappointment for the Mid-Antrim side. Lindsay apologises. The way he's played, he has nothing to apologise for.
He's been a rock, an absolute rock.
Just waiting for the fourth official here. Is there to be disappointment for Glenn Ferguson in his first cup final as a manager? In by Kane, out by Murphy. 3 minutes to be added on. And here come Glenavon again. Martin goes right. Here's McGrory. Bates vainly trying to get up there. Here comes McGrory. Martin it was. He just couldn't get a decent contact on it. Now United have to try and come forward. Hit on the counter. Lots of space out there. It is 10 men against 10 men after all. It may not be over. Jenkins. Taggart. He shouldn't have let it bounce. Didn't go for the corner. McBride. He has to get it in. United have to get it into the danger area, but not like that. An old head on young shoulders. And Gary Hamilton should get a hero's welcome, David, as he comes on for a very short cameo. The number 8. What a job he's done.
He's done the most marvellous of jobs. You know, if people really knew him off the pitch, he's a fantastic fella. He really is.
Sorry, David, he's giving Guy Bates a chance to come off to great acclaim. He's worked hard. He's done his job today.
That's a lovely touch. That really is. Batesy has been absolutely magnificent. We don't know if he's staying at Moorview next year, but to get those applause.
Just listen to that reception for Gary Hamilton. His family are here today. Great scenes in the semi-final when his grandfather was here, and Gary ended in tears at the joy of his grandfather being well enough to come to the semi-final, and the joy of winning as well, which he is about to enjoy. We are into the 3rd minute of the 3 added on.
I actually met Gary's mum and his granddad inadvertently on Cup semi-final day. Lovely people. And they were so very, very proud of Gary. And having met his mum, I know why he's turned out in the great way that he has.
So for United, 25-year barren spell is about to become 26. Glenavon, their barren spell lasted shorter time, 17 years. Well documented. 1-0 that day, Cliffville. Tony Grant, who sat down on the bench there this afternoon. He's been the hero for all these years. Today, new heroes have stepped forward. Free kick from Kyle Neal. Good finish from this fella here, Patton, to make it 2-1. The player manager is onside. He gets the free kick.
Clever play.
Oh.
Oh, well done, Gary.
Well, frustration showing there.
It is, and you can't blame the Ballymena lads. They're frustrated, so they are. It was a rather cheap and silly free kick to be given away. Gary knew exactly what he was doing, wanted to get the ball down into the corner.
Thinking at this time the disappointment for the United chairman, 14 years in the job, Robert Couples, thought their name was on it. It wasn't. That's not a great challenge, and we don't need this right at the death. And Johnny Taylor now getting involved with Hamilton, and it's a red card. It's a red card for Tony Kane. Well, I haven't been in a cup final where 3 men have been sent off, and that was pure frustration. There's more of it as the player kicks out. He can't wait to get off. It's all kicked off here. It's all over, and that is an awful challenge.
It's a little bit. Listen, Jack, Tony Kane is a lovely lad. He really is, and he was just frustrated for minutes earlier with the free kick being given away.
But there's a whistle. It's all over. It's time for Mid-Ulster to celebrate. There's McCabe, and he has been chosen as the BBC's man of the match. A superb game, the anchorman in midfield, but it's all done. Well, there is McCabe, Shane McCabe. Confirmation that he is the man of the match. Only disappointment for David Cushley and Ballymena United. Joy for those fans. 17 years. Disappointment for him. First cup final as a manager has ended in defeat. He didn't score, McCabe, but he did everything else. Reece Marshall was outstanding at the back. So was Chris Lindsay. There's the goal scorer, the first goal. Lovely, superb free kick. Then he came on as a substitute, and he buried a tremendous goal. And there he is with the two boys. And they will come out, they will join their father in the spotlight, who's about to be interviewed, it seems.
Well done. Thanks, Jackie. I think you've handed down
to the winning manager, Gary Hamilton.
Gary, you want to bring your two boys in. You've just gone into the crowd to get them. That game pretty much had it all. What's your immediate emotion?
Yeah, it's just, I'm delighted for the fans, for the chairman, for the directors. Everybody has put in all the hard work behind the scenes. But you know what? This bunch of lads deserves the praise and the credit for everything. Nobody would have given them a chance at the start of the season. And for to go on and achieve and do what they've done is a credit themselves. They're one of the best bunches lad I've ever played with. Never mind manage their coach, because I've only ever managed a couple of them, but see, in terms of playing with, they're the best group of lads I've ever seen.
3 red cards in an Irish Cup final. I doubt if you've ever witnessed one like it. Right into death there, then that late one on you, tempers were just fraying. How do you assess the game in the immediate aftermath?
To be honest, I don't want to assess it. All matter today was that we won the game, and thankfully we did it. Granny will be up looking down at me. My grand is here again. I'm proud and proud of that. My mum, my auntie, obviously my brother, my girlfriend, and my 2 boys. That's the most important people to me in my life. And you know, I'm just so happy, and my dad as well, who's watching it at home. Just so happy and so proud of all the boys, because they've made my dream come true.
An extra stripe as a manager today. Many eyebrows raised that you'd kept Patton on the bench. Kyle Neal gets the free kick. You spring Patton.
He's the best super sub I've ever seen. I always tell him, leave the managing to me, and he can do the rest. He's been tremendous. He's been the key to us the whole way through this competition. In league matches, he comes on off the bench and he does unbelievable. And you know what? Pay credit to him. He never huffs. He never puts a head down. He comes on. He proves what he's all about. It's a sign of a good pro.
Stay with us. I want to bring the man who scored the winning cup goal for Glenavon. Tony Grant was the last man to do it. I think 1997. Now, were you annoyed with the boss that he hadn't given you the nod?
Yeah, to be honest, I was, but I sort of knew in my head that was what he was going to do to bring me on, and thankfully I got the winner for him. I'm over the moon.
At any point were you frightened that he was actually going to pop himself on in front of you?
No, definitely not. I think he knew the space was there, and when things open up there, it's great for myself to come on. You know, plenty of pace and plenty of width, and I was able to get myself on the end of it and put it in the back of the net.
You you've got a ways to go if you want to get your beard to the state of his, but relive the goal for me. As cup final goals go, that one will go down in history. You've written yourself into footballing folklore.
Yeah, Tony Grant said to me before, he said in the semi-final, I fancy you for a goal. I did it, and he said to me again, I fancy another one, and I did it. I don't know how it happened. The ball just fell to me, and it opened up, and I'm confident enough on my right foot, and I just hit it. That's my weaker side, but I just hit it. Thankfully, I found the bottom corner.
I was going to say you're naturally left-footed. Was that a collector's item for you because you'd picked it up on your left, and it was kind of a Ryan Giggs type swerving run. You probably wanted to get it onto the left, but the right foot did the trick.
Yeah, they sort of pushed me onto my right, so I couldn't really get it back onto my left. So here's me, why not just hit it, see what happens, and thankfully it went in.
And I guess given the early red card and the losing of the big heart and soul of the team, if you like, you owed him that.
Yeah, G would be disappointed, but that's the way things is. He says he didn't touch him, but the referee gave it, and then to be honest, I don't think theirs was a red card either. But that's football, things happen, and luckily I was able to do it for G and for Gaz and all them supporters up there.
I think you were probably at primary school about 6 or 7 the last time these boys won a cup final. What does this one feel like? Yeah,
it feels great. This is my first cup final, well, my second cup final, first Irish cup final, so I'll cherish it forever, definitely will.
I know you want to get over there and join in the celebrations. Thanks for joining us there. We'll be back with more soon, Stephen.
Mark, thank you very much. Chris Morgan and Stephen Baxter are enjoying these celebrations for Gary Hamilton's Glenavon. Deserved winners today for you, gentlemen?
I mean, it's hard to pick really either team that really went for it, but I mean, Glenavon, the first goal I think was very important. I think when Ballymena got level, we expected they might push on, but it didn't really happen for them, and Glenavon scored very quickly afterwards. I think on the balance of play they probably were the better side, not an awful lot in it, and it really came down to that bit of magic at the end from Patton, because lovely bit of skill, dribbles and hits it with his right and finds the bottom corner.
It's heartbreak obviously for Ballymena. It's always tough to lose on a big day like this, and hats off to them too.
Absolutely, you know, they've played a big part in this cup final today. They were carrying the momentum whenever Alan Taggart gets the goal. We all thought maybe the game was swinging and turning towards them, and then Patton comes up with a wonderful strike to do it. But you know, it's a difficult position. I've been there a couple of times with a team beaten in a big cup final like this, and it's heartbreaking for them. You know, they've waited such a long time to get to this sort of scene. But it's Glenavon's day, and there always has to be a winner and a loser, and there'll be boys away home very disappointed today. But Glenavon will celebrate a great success. You know, Gary's been building this team all year. For me, Ballymena, Glenavon are the two upcoming teams. They've been really good all season. And they'll be pushing forward into next season, I'm sure, and this is something now that they can build on. So Gary will take a lot of pride in all this.
And there's fantastic scenes. Gary Hamilton hugging his grandfather here today to see the club win their first Irish Cup in 17 years, and obviously an emotional day for the entire Hamilton family. Fantastic pictures. Gary Hamilton's a Lurgan blue through and through, isn't he?
The emotions of all of this, honestly. I remember when it was manager, and I could hardly talk for 5 minutes. It's an incredible thing, and to do it on such a big stage and so many big fans and his family here, his kids in his arm. You know, that this means everything to Gary. He's delivered on the biggest stage possible in the colourful day of Irish League football, and this will live long in his memory.
It's all about football and families, as you can see today. Let's hear from the man of the match, Shane McCabe.
They want him up for man of the match. Shane McCabe and little boy Charlie McCabe. Gareth McKeown will hear from, and little Gareth Jr. Shane. Congratulations. Man of the match in the Irish Cup final. Probably doesn't get much better.
No, it doesn't get much better, but to be honest with you, I'll graft and I'll do the dirty work. There's better players out there than me today, I thought. Singy and wee Reece Marshall were outstanding. Gay Bates outstanding. Big centre half Chris Lindsay, outstanding. I think it's a credit to them boys, the effort they put in all year. It's a great win, it doesn't get much better. I've lost enough finals, so I'm delighted to win this one.
Believe it or not, Sean Cavan, a 4-times All-Star, was analysing your performance at half-time, and he was very impressed with that disruptive holding role you were playing in front of the back four. You got to be happy that game, your personal game today, dictated it many times, the pace of this match.
Well, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm not going to get on it and create too much or score too many goals, although I did score one. It was a cracker, but I was delighted, you know, and we were just delighted to get the win overall. And I'm disappointed for Big G because, you know, a lot of people have a perception of G, and me and him wouldn't have liked each other when we played against each other, but I can't speak highly of him as a fella, and I'm disappointed because he's been tremendous all season.
Yeah, and he's a much better hairstyle than you. Big Garth, I better ask you first of all about little Garth, because he was in tears, and I hope you won't mind me saying this, but I went in to speak to you underneath in the tunnel. You too were in tears. You felt you were harshly done by.
Big time. To be honest, from the bottom of my heart, I never touched him. He didn't go down and make a meal of it, but that's football, you know. These things happen, and I'm absolutely gutted, but I'm so pleased for the boys to do it for me. I think that I owe them one now.
Yeah, it'll make it a whole lot more palatable that you were sent off, that the boys went on and have landed the silverware.
Yeah, big time. The boys were outstanding. I was watching from the director's box there, and the boys were outstanding, and they fully deserved it. They worked their socks off, and fair play to them.
Gareth and Garth, thank you very much. Go enjoy the cup celebrations.
Well, I think from that new angle of the sending off, which we managed to find from one of our touchline cameramen, I think it's blatantly clear that wasn't a red card today.
Well, we're watching professional sport, aren't we, every week on television in Spain and in the Premiership in England, and this goes on absolutely non-stop. That was nothing really. A bit of pushing and shoving, and you know, Raymond's applied the letter of the law. He swung his arm a little bit, but hey, you know, a word in that cup final. Listen, cut it out. No pushing and shoving at the corner kicks. To get someone off, that breaks his heart. And then we get Gary off then a few minutes later. It wasn't great from that point of view. But as I say, let's not take away from the day. It was a colourful occasion. It was a brilliant atmosphere at this football match today. And Glenavon have just got their tails in front.
Yeah, and for Ballymena, obviously losing today, Chris, but no doubt they will take stock and try and learn from this experience under their very good manager.
Well, the progress is there. They won a trophy. What was it last season in the County Antrim Shield? This season, beating finalists in the Irish Cup. So there's obvious progress, and they've got to just try to learn, try to progress again, and have another go next year and see where it takes them. They've definitely played their part in a great cup final. Were unfortunate when they got back. They couldn't really push forward and get a second goal. But I think just on the day, Glenavon just had more match winners, and Patton was that man that came on, and he'll be the hero.
Okay, Chris, Stephen, thank you very much indeed. It's almost time for the trophy presentation as Glenn Ferguson just picks up his loser's medal. Tough day for him, but Ballymena played their part. It's all about Glenavon, and it's back to Jackie.
Thank you very much indeed. And I'm just thinking, Glenavon, they won all their 5 cup finals post the Second World War. 57 they beat Derry City, 59 they beat Ballymena United, 61 their biggest ever cup final win. Glenavon 5, Linfield 1 that year. 1992, Glenavon 2, Linfield 1 at the Oval. 1997, their last cup final win, they beat Clipwell 1-0. The man who got the goal, Tony Grant, is here today. And now it's the class of 2014 stepping forward.
And spare a thought, Jackie, for those Ballymena players, because that is the hardest experience, believe you me. They're standing there, great praise them, great credit. They're being very courteous in defeat, and that's mightily important in the game. But that is hard, that is gut-wrenching. When you've been beaten, all you want to do is get off the pitch. A lot of your supporters will have left, gone home, they will be disappointed, but you've got to stand there and be courteous. So very well done to Glenn and his men. That is being professional, and that is being correct.
The beards will grow and grow, and I would say there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight. The player manager who made a cameo was then involved in an incident which led to Tony Kane getting sent off. Hamilton gets his medal. He won one.
You've got to say so
9 years ago.
Well
Chris
done,
Lindsay, great that he's won it. The presentation is about to be made. Chris Lindsay is there. Tracy Wiley, Marie Curie nurse is there. There it goes! The celebrations and the victory belong to Glenavon, and they'll enjoy the moment.
That is the most fabulous feeling, I can tell you. Absolutely fantastic. I think a big William Murphy.
Back to you, Stephen.
Thank you very much to Jackie Fullerton and to David Jeffrey. Closing thoughts from you, Chris and Stephen? It's been an entertaining afternoon.
It has. It's been a great final. And whilst there's disappointment for Ballymena, you see the joy in the Glenavon players' faces there. They'll really enjoy this later on tonight, and they deserve their win on the day. So you've got to give them huge credit. And
a good advert for the local game, despite the red cards. I mean, the occasion as a whole.
Well, I was going to just say, you know, spur a thought for the fans of both sides. You know, they were absolutely magnificent. Came in big numbers. It'd be great to see them all out every week at Irish League games. These fans are needed to really market our game, and I thought they were both superb today. The atmosphere was fantastic.
Okay, Stephen, Chris, thank you very much for your company today. Glenavon lifting the Irish Cup. We'll be reviewing it all with our Irish League show online. Join Chris Morgan for that one with Joel Taggart. But for now, the Lurgan Blues have beaten the Sky Blues to win the Irish Club. From all of us here, it's bye-bye.